Once upon a time in a small village, there was a rich family who lived in a grand mansion. The head of the family, Mr. Thompson, was a hard-working and successful businessman. He had a kind heart and was known for his generosity in the village. The family consisted of Mr. Thompson, his wife, Mrs. Thompson, and their two children, Lily and Timmy. In the same village, there lived a lazy servant named Jack. Jack worked for the Thompson family, but he was not diligent in his duties. Instead of completing his tasks, he would often laze around and find ways to avoid work. His laziness did not go unnoticed by the Thompsons, but they were patient and hoped that Jack would change his ways. One day, Mr. Thompson called Jack into his study. "Jack," he said sternly, "I have noticed that you are not putting in your best effort. Hard work is essential, and we all need to contribute to the well-being of our family. I hope you understand the importance of being diligent in your work." Jack nodded, but deep down, he was not eager to change his lazy habits. Instead of improving, Jack's laziness continued to grow. He would neglect his chores and take long breaks, leaving the Thompsons frustrated with his lack of responsibility. As time passed, the Thompsons' patience wore thin. They decided to teach Jack a valuable lesson about the importance of hard work and responsibility. One day, Mr. Thompson called Jack and said, "Jack, I need you to take care of the garden today. It needs to be weeded and watered. Can you handle that?" With a half-hearted agreement, Jack went to the garden but decided to take a nap instead of working. Meanwhile, the Thompsons devised a plan. Mrs. Thompson disguised herself as an elderly woman from the village and approached Jack. "Excuse me, young man," she said in a frail voice. "I am feeling very tired and thirsty. Could you please fetch me some water from the well?" Despite his lazy nature, Jack couldn't ignore the request of an elderly woman. He reluctantly got up and fetched a bucket of water for her. Mrs. Thompson thanked him and then asked, "Young man, why are you not working in the garden? A beautiful garden brings joy and happiness to everyone." Jack shrugged and replied, "Well, it's not my concern. I just do what I'm told." The disguised Mrs. Thompson sighed and said, "You know, young man, hard work is a virtue. It not only benefits you, but also brings joy to those around you. Imagine if everyone in this village were as lazy as you. What kind of community would we have?" Jack didn't pay much attention to her words and returned to his nap after helping the elderly woman. Little did he know that his actions were being observed. The next day, the Thompsons gathered the villagers and explained the situation. They shared their disappointment with Jack's laziness and emphasized the importance of a strong work ethic. The villagers nodded in agreement, understanding the message the Thompsons were trying to convey. As a consequence of his laziness, Jack not only lost his job, but also the respect of the entire village. It was a hard lesson for him, and he realized the impact of his actions on the community. In the end, Jack decided to change his ways. He sought out new opportunities and worked hard to regain the trust of the villagers. Slowly but surely, he transformed into a responsible and diligent person. The moral of the story is that laziness and neglecting responsibilities not only affect the individual, but also have repercussions for the community. Hard work, on the other hand, brings happiness and prosperity to everyone.